Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about about capitalism. How does it work? What are the main function, not function of it, or the main model or thinking about it before in the perspective of different people. Not before in the perspective of different people. How does it work? We are going to talk about all that is stuff. Are you ready for that? As you can say, if you are watching this video for first time, let me introduce the format of this video. Like there is an title. First slide is about what the topic we are going to cover. As you can see, there is a title, then our description part about it, and we are going to cover some point related to it, like private ownership, market-based economy, profit motive, competition, capitalism, all that, minimal government, consumer choice, income inequality, economic growth, what is related to the critic challenge, all that point we are going to cover. Then after that we going to cover the most excited part of this video, like what are the question related to capitalism. Each question is different from each other. We're going to cover that. If you're watching for first video, it's I'm telling that's why for you. But if you're watching from another time this video, then it seems to be boring for you. Like, why are you wasting your time in explaining this thing? I have already know, bro, bro, bro. Capitalism, economic and social system characterized by private ownership of the means of production, where individual or business operate for profit in competitive market. It is one of the most predominant economic system in the world and is often contrasted with socialism and communism. Okay, what do you mean by the capitalism? Capitalism is an economic and social system characterized by the private ownership of the means of production. Capitalism is an economic and social system characterized by the private ownership of the means of production, where individual or business operate for profit. Capitalism is economic and social system characterized by private ownership of the means of production, where usually the individual work out here, not the not the war. Individual individual business operate for profit of in competitive market is one of the most predominant economic system in the world, is often contrasted with socialism and communism. Okay, do you get it, what it want to say through this description part of this what this description, where individual and business operate for profit in competitive markets. It's one of the most predominant economic system in the world and is often contrasted with socialism and communism. Okay, now we are going to cover some point related to capitalism, like private ownership. In capitalism, most of the productive resources such as land, factories, and businesses are privately owned. The ownership allow individual and entities to make decisions about how to use these resources to generate profit. Market-based economy. Capitalist economies are market-based, meaning that prices, production, and distribution of goods and services determined by the supply and demand in competitive market. Buyer and seller interact freely, and the prices are set through voluntary transaction. Profit motive. One of the central tenets of the capitalism is pursuit of profit. Individual and business seeks to maximize their financial gain by producing and selling goods and services that are in demand. Competition. Capitalism thrives in competition. Multiple business or produce compete for consumer, which is believed in to lead in efficiency, innovation, and better quality product and services. Minimal government intervention. Capitalism often involves limited government intervention in economic activities. The government primary role is typically to enforce property right, contract and contracts and competition rules, ensuring a level of playing field. Consumer choice in capitalist economics, consumer have a freedom to make choices about what they buy, where they work, how they invest in money, how they invest their money. This consumer choice is seen a key on benefit in capitalism. Income inequality. Capitalism can lead to income and wealth inequality. The distribution of resources and opportunities are often determined by the market outcomes, which can result in disparities in income and wealth. Okay, what do you mean by the capitalism? We have covered over the different topic related to capitalism, like private ownership. The most of the thing are work in the private ownership. Productive resources such as land, factories, ventures are privately owned, and the ownership allow individual entity to make decision about how to raise resources to generate profit. Like basically of the private ownership, private owned firm fight together in order to get profit by using through providing maximum profit, or I think if what can we say, through providing maximum profit to consumer in terms of their capability, in terms of providing various kind of resources so they can buy, and each individual frame fight for that in order to acquire those customers to them. You get it what I want to say? I'm saying that frame fight each other, fight each other. Market based economy. Capitalist economies are mixed. We have talked about the market based economy. We have talked about that. We have already covered this description part. Now I want to express this term in my own words. Profit motive, competition, minimal government intervention, consumer choice, and income inequality. We have covered out this. Now back to the 8.9 point, economic growth. Advocate argue that capitalism promote economic growth and prosperity of incentivizing innovation, efficiency, and entrepreneurship. Critique and challenges. Critics of capitalism point to issue that income inequality, environmental concern, and the potential for exploitation of workers. They argue that for greater government regulation and social safety net to address these issues. Mixed, mixed, mixed economics. Most countries today has a mixed economy that combine element of capitalism and government intervention. These mixed economics seeks to balance the benefit of market-driven capitalism with measure to address inequality and social welfare. Historical variations. Capitalism has taken various forms throughout history, from laissez-faire capitalism in 19th century to regulated capitalism in 20th century. These variations reflect different level of government involvement in regulation. Globalization. Capitalism is closely linked to globalization, where market trade and investment transit national border. This has led to increased interconnectedness and interdependences among economics. Critics and alternative. Critics of the capitalism often advocate for alternative economic systems such as socialism and communism, which prioritize collective ownership and planning over private profit. Now we are going to cover different questions related to capitalism. What are the key difference between capitalism and socialism? How do they difference influence the organization of economics and societies? Capitalism is characterized by private ownership, market competition, profit motives, where socialism emphasizes collective or state ownership, central planning, social welfare. This difference shape how resources are allocated, goods are produced, wealth is distributed in economies, societies. How does capitalism incentivize innovation and entrepreneurship? Can you provide example how this has led to technological advancement or new business ventures? Capitalism incentivizes innovation and entrepreneurship by rewarding those who create value and address market needs. For instance, the development of personal computer and the rise of the companies like Apple and Microsoft were driven by entrepreneurs seeking profit through technological advancement. What role does government regulation play in capitalist economies? Why it is important necessary to ensure fair competition and protect consumer? Government regulation in capitalism aim to maintain fair competition, protect consumer from fraud and harm, ensure public goods like infrastructure and education. Regulation is necessary to address market failure and prevent abuses for market power. Explain the concept of economic income inequality in capitalist society. Why? What are some factors that contribute the income inequality? What policies can implemented to address it? Income inequality in capitalists arise from differences in earning wealth, accumulation, access to opportunities. Factor contributing to income inequality include disparities in education, skill level, market power. Policies to address income inequality may include progressive taxation, minimum wage laws, and social safety nets. How does globalization impact capitalism? What are some of the benefits and challenges associated with global interconnectedness of economics? Globalization has expanded market access, facilitated international trade, allowed for movement of capital and labor. While it has brought benefits such as increased economic growth, access to global market has raised concern about labor right, environmental sustainability, and income inequality. I'm just speaking out those terms in my through the slide itself, not explaining to you in my words. So, can you describe the evolution of capitalism from its early form of mixed economies seen to many countries today? Today, today. How have government rules and regulation changed over time? Capitalism evolved from laissez-faire capitalism 19th century characterized by minimal government intervention to regulated capitalism in 20th century with increased government involvement in areas like social welfare, environmental protection. These changes reflect the development of mixed economies that combine market dynamics and government regulation. What are some ethical considerations associated with capitalism, such as corporate social responsibility and environmental sustainability? How can businesses balance profit motives with ethical responsibilities? Capitalist business are increasingly recognizing their social and environmental responsibility through CSR initiatives. They aim to balance profit motives and ethical consideration by promoting sustainability, responsible sourcing, and community engagement. In a global context, how does capitalism influence international relation and diplomacy? Can provide example of economic policies, trade agreement that reflect the interplay between capitalism and international consider cooperation. Capitalism has significant impact on international relation through trade agreement and economic policies. Example include the North American Free Trade Agreement and World Trade Organization, which promote trade liberalization, economic cooperation among capitalist countries. Do you get it? What I want to say? I want to say that there are many factors that involve in field of capitalism, like private ownership, or there are different market structure. Government play a role in some of regulating market, but not that much of part they play. They freely allow companies to play on market, play on ground. They only regulate, like contracts have to given, the contract which has to given to home, land properties, or else all this stuff. They don't intervene that much in the capitalism market, because government want to earn also profit through that process, not companies itself. mm, income income inequality also there in capitalism. Income inequality, like some kind of person or people earning more enough than as compared to the person earning less to other. that arise that arise a society comparison between two other friend people. Globalization also impact capitalism. We have covered about that. We have covered many different topic about capitalism. I think you have got understand it. What does it mean by capitalism? If you not, you can see or you can read out from the slide also. It's also benefit for you, so that you can understand the topic you want to understand. That's it for the video. We'll see you next time. Till then, keep reading, keep moving.